Hey, this is George,
Hey, this is Frazier.
and this is Real Talk with George and Fraser. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Not baby, got a good show today.
Yeah, man. I always like having these artists on and stuff like that because, the collective juices that we get and the energy that we get, man, really sets this show off. You know what I mean?
All
Whether
day. What?
artists, singers, writers, directors, like it just, you know what I mean? You have such a vast conversation about it because the truth of the matter is we don't see a lot of people like us, people of color, in those roles. If
Exactly.
like major television always has us as the masses want to portray us. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's
Exactly.
always refreshing to have
Exactly.
these artists come in, and we're gonna have a good show today, man. Frey,
Yeah.
tell us who we got
Have you
on,
heard
man.
her sing? Have you heard her sing yet, though? That's what you gotta hear.
Wait, hold on now. She gonna be on the show. She gonna give me a little taste. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, word up, man.
Yeah, we got some fun, right?
Frey, who we got on? Tell the fans who we got on.
Oh, we got some. I can't pronounce the name. You gonna put me on the spot like that? I can't. I don't even
Because I didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, man, why would I do that?
do it.
All
I'm gonna say
right,
last name. Dannette. I said last name, Miss Dannette. I got last name right though.
all right. Without ado, welcome to Real Talk. How you doing?
Good.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing good.
Good.
Thank you so
Help
much.
us pronounce your first name because we
It
were
is
portrait.
it's actually exactly the way it looks. It's Sunja.
Sunja.
Sunday.
Sunja. Mhm.
Okay, we went bad. We went bad.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been too good. It wouldn't have been too good. So, Sanja, spare us the mercy and tell us a little bit, the fans, of your bio, your background, everything. Fraser and I always
Okay.
tried to do it, but it don't.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's kind of I'll give you the short version, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I'm originally from Albany, Georgia. It's a small city near Florida, more like Florida. Um I have been in the arts like since youth. I was raised in church, and so that's where I got my, start in the arts and singing, acting, dancing, and all of that. But fast forward, I've been working on my own music and singing in a lot of other venues and a lot of other places. And I've been writing since I was like 10. I wrote my first song, but I'm just now getting up the guts to like really put out more content. I'm a singer, I'm an actress, up and coming, up and coming,
Okay, that's good.
up and coming, and as well as an author. I have a book that is on Amazon and is an inspirational type autobiography of my life up until probably about age 33, I would say. And also an entrepreneur. So
Oh, okay.
myself, Sunja Dannette, as an artist, is under my umbrella company, DASI Group, which is Diversified Arts and Services International Group. Um, and I also have a tutoring company in this tailored tutor language services where I tutor Spanish and English. Yes, tutor, translate, and instruct. Yes.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot on.
Nice, nice, nice. You know, um, I wrote a few books myself, so you're endeared to my heart. When it comes to that, I know the struggle of writing a book. But Fraser and I also know the struggle of being entrepreneurs, working jobs, and doing things like
Exactly.
that. So it touches
Yes.
our souls really when we have people on our show that are still on the hustle, still on the grind, still doing the same thing, but still giving back. I know you said English and Spanish, but also Francais, French. People don't think that French is important, but French is another language that is up and coming, and in certain countries in
Mhm.
Africa, it's also a national language as well too. And we always get sidetracked by Americanism, so to speak. You always have to speak English, but we never really, understand that when we go to other people's countries. I tell my kids this all the time. You have to be able to greet them in their language. Like you can't go to Mexico and say, "Do you speak English?" No, you know what I mean. Like you're in their country. You have to give them the courtesy of addressing them in their language. And to be able to understand that and have a tutoring company and things of that nature to help us, you know, it just, like I said, warms my heart that you're putting yourself out there to do that. Not too many people give back in that nature, you know. And our culture is one of the few cultures that it's always like pulling teeth with us. Yeah, but yeah, but yeah,
Yes,
but you know what I mean. So,
yeah, yes,
so
absolutely.
singing.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't I haven't heard any of your stuff, so I was wondering if you had like little snippets for us, you know,
So
snippets
yeah,
of your
I
voice
heard
or
you say that. Oh, she gonna give me a taste. I think that's
who
what you said.
who said that? Me? That was
Who?
me? Yeah, that was me. I said that in the beginning before the piece. I forgot she was in the dashboard. That's true.
Yes,
I
yes,
did say that.
George, you're right because this is your show and I'm the guest.
Come
Yes,
on,
yes, yes.
un poquito, just a little bit.
Un poquito. Yes,
Oh,
I let me tell you, I don't speak French. I don't even like the way I have to hold my mouth to speak it.
Oh, that's good because that was Spanish.
Now Spanish, I love it. Me encanta español, okay? Yes, me encanta.
ah, look
Pero,
at
yes,
you.
sí puedo hablar español. Sí, sí, claro. Sí,
Good.
fluentemente.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Well,
see
you
you. Go.
coming out of Miami, you be good.
Right?
But
Yeah,
yes,
but
so
she's doing a Chappelle, man. Go ahead. I don't want the
yes,
monologue. I want like a little piece.
okay.
Exactly.
So a little piece, I can give you a little piece of my latest single that is currently out on all streaming platforms. It's entitled Let's Make Music. And I'm just gonna do like a couple of lines of that. How about that?
That's right. That's what I'm waiting on.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll work.
Right. Creamos música, canción para nosotros. Creamos música, con letra traemos. Creamos música, baby, solo tú y yo. Creamos música, melodía de amor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You heard it right here on Real Talk. That's
You
right.
heard it right here. Real
Yes,
talk.
I have
That's
both
the word.
versions. I have the English version and the Spanish version. They're both streaming live. So.
Wow, that's
That's
amazing.
great. That's great. You know,
That's
I
super
like the
cool.
Spanish version better because it just sounds sexy. You know what I mean? Like
I know, right?
And the English version, you know what I mean? You sit there, you know, but Spanish version, you be
Oh
like,
man.
oh,
Oh, why you get a bad rep? We get a bad rep. We get a boy, let me get all into it. Whoa. We want to say like that.
hey, you're killing me, man.
Oh
Fred,
my
you're
god.
killing me, bro. You're killing me. So, um, tell us a little bit about your book. You know, if we don't like
Okay.
curve this thing, we'll be laughing all interview. And
Oh
we
god.
want
I
to
said,
get
oh no,
you
I
out there,
said
talk
because
about
I
your
am
book,
the yeah,
talk
I'm
about
the
everything.
same
You know what I mean?
way. My bad. Yeah, y'all have to folks, y'all have to help me out,
That's
okay?
right.
Because
Bringing it
I'm
back.
the one who's always
Bringing it back.
laughing. Yes, bring it in, bring it back, bring it back.
All right. That's right.
So yeah, so the book is entitled Overcoming the Odds, a story of tragedy, triumph, and a, a story of trauma, tragedy, trauma, and triumph. Let me get that alliteration right, okay? Yes, it's Overcoming the Odds, a story of tragedy, trauma, and triumph, because that's the order that they happen, is it not? Even though a lot of people do not make it to that triumph, a lot of times they stay in that trauma. But I am very grateful that I was able to find, solutions and light and do the work and get to that place where I am triumphing and overcoming the odds. It's present progressive for a reason because it is a daily choice. It's a daily decision to heal and to be in that healing process. That's a daily journey, especially when you've experienced the trauma of being abandoned, by a parent or being sexually molested by a family member, like those things that happen, and living in poverty and having to change your poverty mindset, um, those are things that you have to overcome and choose the healing path. Choose that path to healing, because you can stay in that rut and never get to that place of triumph. But yes, so that's what that book is about. Yes.
I
Yeah,
like
I
the
can
book.
definitely dig it. I got to dig a little deeper when you say that because self-expression. How do we say this? A lot of people that we've come across on the show are writing books as celebrations. This is where I
Mhm.
was. This is where I got to. I mean, even I did. A lot of my books that I wrote are my stories of things that I've gone through. But instead of me asking the question I already know the answer to for me, let me ask you, how did you get to that point to be able to break through? Because psychological trauma, psychological trauma can manifest itself into physical trauma, and physical trauma can do a lot of bad things to the body, plain and simple. And sometimes it can be so debilitating that you can't rise up or rise above it. Like you see no way out of the situation that you're in because sometimes the traumatic experience is so damaging to you.
Yeah.
Like I said before on the show, um, no matter where you've been through, if you have a really, really bad traumatic experience, no matter how old you are, you can still recall that experience like it happened to you, whether you were 7 years old, whether you were 17 years old, whether you were 33 years old. You still, it's like it's right there. You see it. You see everything in vivid color, you know, and like I said, that's part of this trauma and psychological pain that you're dealing with that could really cripple you and debilitate you. So how do you how do you get past that point? Was it a mentor helping you? Did you find religion? Did you reach out? Did somebody reach out to you like a woman shelter? What was that first step?
That's an awesome question, because that is something that we don't really address. We talk about it, but not, we just kind of skirt over it and skim over it. But for me, so the molestation happened when I was young. I was like 10 when that
Mm,
happened, and I it was very weird, like how it took place. It was just like, um my family found out, and I was in a room with almost all the women in my family, telling me that they
mm,
can completely relate to what I had just experienced. And so even at 10, I was just like, something is dead. Can I curse on here? Can I wait, wait. Something is wrong with this picture.
yeah,
Something is wrong with this picture.
right.
And that is what, that just triggered within me, like, okay, this this cannot keep going as it has, and be the norm, like, no way, because I don't want that for my kids or anything like that. And so for me, yes, I was raised in the church, and so that was a large part of you know the healing process, if you will. But I also sought out professional um, counseling, because at the age of 25, I did attempt suicide. And yeah, and it was brought on by other happenings, but at the same
Hmm.
time, if you are molested, your chances of attempted suicide, like, dramatically increase. You're
Yeah.
about 5 times more likely to try to attempt suicide. But so I sought professional counseling, and also, of course, did the church. And lately, as of yet, I would just say within the past 3 years, found my own way, you know, so to speak. I still have, the Christian foundation, but just really going deeper into accepting myself and accepting the God within me.
Hmm.
Because we grow up in the church, but we're not really taught that this powerful God who created the universe, who did all these amazing things, is in you. That same power is in you
Right.
to help
That's right.
you heal yourself,
That's right.
to help you heal yourself and to help others. And
Preach.
so,
Oh, let's
yes,
go. Oh,
so
oh.
yes, so
I
that for
know.
me is how I came to that place. I do yoga, I meditate, and I even have my own affirmations you can on YouTube and Spotify and all that too. So, but for me, it's just been the inner. I've turned everything inward because that's where the real healing takes place. That's where the real living and that path can be enlightened from within. So that for me was what I did. And the book was also, of course, very therapeutic
Right.
because I wrote about everything.
Exactly.
Right. No,
Get it right
absolutely.
now. Somebody that's better.
So I wanted to follow up on that question too, because you said something, and I know it happened to you, but you may not have seen my reaction when you said it. It hit me like a ton of bricks just now.
Yeah.
You said that a group of ladies in your family pulled you to the room, and they all said that they could empathize or sympathize in some form or fashion as to what you were going through. So does that mean that all the ladies in your family had experienced something like that, or they were just trying to comfort you? Because
No, they had experienced something like that.
okay,
Yes.
so
Yeah.
now you've taken me. I'm sorry, you didn't see the goosebumps that just went in my hand. I apologize,
Yeah.
but now you've taken me someplace else that I have to ask a question for. Just another one to peel back a layer. So how do the women in your family heal from that? If it's systemic, from the women, the elders to the children, how do you break out of it? That's the first question, and then generationally, how do you heal from that? Because you have children, and if you guys in your family have little girls, where is that person that snatches that little girl up and say, "That's not going to happen to you on my watch"? You know what I mean? Because to have so many women, you would think that somebody from those women in that room would have snatched one up and said, "Hey, this is not happening," or "This is not happening." How did it become so comfortable? That's the question that
Right.
I'm pondering in my head right now. How did it
Yeah,
become so comfortable?
I agree. But at the same time, this is one of those things, it's one of those issues that's worldwide.
Yes.
Yeah. Pedophilia is like probably one of the top evils that's accepted worldwide, if you really think about it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's one of those
Absolutely.
things. Yeah.
Right.
In four, 1 in 4 females have been sexually molested or sexually assaulted. That means if I'm sitting at a table, at least one of us have had that experience, and it's usually with someone that you know or that you're close to, or a
Yeah.
family member, or family friend.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah, and so I can't speak for all of my aunts, in their path of healing. My mother actually, she's I would say she was the one that probably I would say was the most affected or seemed the most affected because her things showed outwardly,
Mhm,
because some people are able to cope, through life and through trauma and live and cope,
mhm,
but she was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia.
mhm.
And so I
Wow.
definitely 100% believe that having those experiences at a young age totally affected, her and as well as some other experiences. But how they chose to heal, if they are healing, if they chose the path, the healing, I wouldn't know because I'm not even really close to them. I am the crazy one, so
Hey, nothing wrong, a little crazy now.
Hey,
Come
hey,
on now.
going
Huh?
crazy. No, not ain't nothing wrong with that. Ooh.
I'm out there, okay?
Hey, you smile more. For some people, you smile a lot more than they do. I mean, that's a great step already. That's a compliment, you know.
Yes, yes, and so
I got
yeah, I
one
think
for
that.
you. So I got one question for you. I mean, knowing that and knowing what happened to you, do you seek out like young girls who experience similar scenarios as you do and try to help them in their healing process, where you didn't have the mentorship to give them the mentorship they need to maybe get past it or even try to cope with it a little bit better? we don't end up in the route of maybe suicide or even worse than that?
Right. So I haven't like taken any direct initiative in that vein. Besides the book, my daughter, who's going to be 13, well, she just turned 13 like yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it
Ooh.
almost happened to her.
Whoa.
Yeah, it almost happened to her. My daughter read my book, and she let her friends read my book as well. And she was just like, "Mom, I said something," because she was like, "I said it's not going to happen to me,"
Exactly.
And I was like, I was happy to hear that, but it still was infuriating that the situation even came up,
Right.
that it
Exactly.
was even, something, like that happening, because when I got the initial news, I like kind of lost it, so it's like,
Frazier came out.
so,
No, I
yeah,
mean, look, you should.
That when the
Don't
Frazier
sit
came out.
here and be
yeah,
like so on
so,
ceremony with us. I got a daughter, so there's
yeah,
no possible way or anything that's going to stop me from reaching out and touching you. And I
Yeah.
know that this is outside of my demeanor. I try to stay cool and calm on this show, but I promise you, okay, whoever's listening to this, you put hands on mine, it's over. It's a wrap. I will chase you
right,
to the end of the earth, and when it's done, it's done. You will,
Exactly.
yeah,
I'm sorry,
Exactly. Hey.
because
Wait,
kids kids
we
are
do.
our only um kids are our only legacy. You
Exactly.
know, you live forever because of your kids. You know what I mean? Not just genetically, the experiences, the education that you give them, how you raise them to be adults and parents for themselves. You live forever. I
Exactly.
talk about things my grandmother said to me that has stuck with me my whole life, my whole adult life. So,
Exactly.
to sit there and damage a child like that, and you see it all over the place, whether it's in Boy Scouts of America and the church, it's this, that,
Exactly.
and the third. You
We're
know,
supposed to be safe.
yeah, what gives you the right to destroy a mind like that? And you carry it. Some people carry it very well, some people
yeah,
don't, you
Exactly.
know. And to for a child that can't defend himself and was trusting you to protect them, that's the part that hurts me the most.
Exactly.
They're trusting you to protect them, and you do that. Oh, there's a special place in hell for you. You better pray
Exactly.
I don't get any wind of it, and it's somebody I know, because
Exactly.
you'll be sleeping with the fishes. That's all I'm gonna say.
Exactly.
You'll be
That
sleeping with the fishes, but
exactly.
you're not gonna go quick. I hate to say it. I'm gonna take you slow.
Whoa.
I'm gonna take you real slow. A couple days, so you know. And then I'll see you in hell. That's it, man.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but yeah, not my
Exactly.
now.
No, it's funny because some coaches that they frown upon it so bad. To a story I heard, I can't. I don't say the country because I don't want to put the country on the spot, but
Yes,
they have a
please.
part of the country where what they do is if they catch a person who catch raping a young girl or someone, a woman, whatever, they actually castrate them.
Yep.
They actually castrate them and put them on shame in front of everybody to know they did it. You
Hmm.
know, and see, we won't do that in America because America is civil, as they say, civilized. We won't. That's consider brutality. They would consider something unhumane to do. But they didn't have that problem though. You know, it's
No, it's
not.
unhumane, Frage, to molest a kid. So
yeah,
Yep.
you can sit there and
exactly.
be nice with people who sitting here and don't, you know, everybody in this country wants to show compassion for people that are uncompassionate. Okay.
Exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. But I keep telling them, look, even Jesus got mad. Even Jesus
Yeah,
got angry.
Yeah.
Even
those
Jesus,
two tables.
okay,
Yeah,
prayed for his enemies. But there's a some point in time, and the thing that I people always forget, and I'm gonna just put a little church on it. Everybody talks about God's love, but nobody talks about the part of the Bible where God talks about I'm a jealous God. Nobody talks about when God says I will fight for you. God didn't say I'll wrap my arms around you and love you even though you did something
Nope.
to me. He said I will fight for you. Okay. God talks about judgment. Okay. That's the part that everybody forgets. So, we're made in his image. We have some of those same traits. So it's just crazy, man.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy.
We have to think about that because we, who were his creations, how many times did we have to talk to God, talk him out of destroying the earth again?
Mhm. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Like we had to talk,
Absolutely.
Enoch, different people had to talk him out of it. like, oh man, you really want to do that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
And out of his compassion, he didn't.
You
You know what
did.
I mean? Out of his
right,
passion,
yeah,
he didn't.
You
So I
pray for
mean,
forgiveness, and you say
I
you
know
pray
that
for
this is more like
forgiveness.
a theological, and people probably listen and be like, "Oh, here they go." But that,
Exactly.
that's what I
Wonder
believe.
Lord
You know what I
and
mean?
Jesus.
Yeah, that's what
right,
he's saying. That's what I have to depend on,
yeah,
and that truth. That's what has kept me from
mhm,
killing somebody. That's what's
right,
kept me from reaching out and touching somebody.
mm,
Being able to plead the blood of Jesus Christ over somebody when I know all I want to do is just reach out and touch them. You see what I
yeah,
mean?
mhm,
So if it works for me, I'm not saying they may not work for you, but I'm
right,
saying it's worked for me.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and everyone, has their own thing that works or doesn't work. We're not even gonna get into the representation of the church because that's a whole nother show.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah, definitely a whole nother show.
2 hours right there. That's about 2 hours.
Oh yeah, 2 hours, Frazier. We'll be here tomorrow morning still talking.
Right.
Yeah,
Woo.
because
I'm gonna
we can debate this. We can have a debate. Real talk. Real talk. We can
Real
have
talk.
Hey,
Oh, buddy, because I
a
know. Yeah, I know
yeah,
about that church hurt, know about the church scandals.
yeah, man.
hey,
That,
come on, that's the best soap opera.
yeah, I was a praise and worship leader from the age of 12 to about 29.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
so I always found myself in the inner circles knowing stuff that I did not want to know.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's so, yeah.
and that's heavy too. Because
Mhm.
you're putting all this stuff on people that are here to help you. And what people don't realize is, when they're hearing all that stuff, the church is quite a quote unquote, even though we say the church takes everybody, there's a certain layer of the church that we want to stay clean.
exactly.
You see what I mean? And we don't want it drugged down with all that dirt that's out in the world. You know what I mean? But you
Exactly.
have to sit here now, and sometimes when you get it, that's where you start to see pastors and peoples. They just do this and they
Exactly.
go on because they're carrying the weight of them and what's happening in their relationship. They're carrying the weight of this. They're carrying the weight of that, and nobody ever thought to pour into this into this individual to lift him back up, help cleanse him a little bit, his
Exactly.
mind. You know what I mean? Because maybe he wasn't thinking like that. But everybody just dumps on him, dumps on him, dumps on him, and then they go, well, why did that pastor have a nervous breakdown? Why did she crack? Why did they go out like that? Because everybody just took, and they never
Exactly.
put back in. It's
It's
crazy.
true.
It's
That
crazy.
is true.
And power can be inebriating, you
Yeah.
know? So, yeah, power and money, those things can take you to a different level. And then when you have a lot of people following you,
Hmm.
Exactly.
every word you speak and doing what you say, you have to be able to handle that kind of power.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and a lot of people don't. Look, we see it in politics. Phrase, not
Yeah.
to cut you off, we see it in politics. The problem that I have with Christian conservatives is like I forgot the pastor's name down in Baltimore. They love the baby manger Jesus, but they don't like to have conversations about the Jesus that was kicking over tables. You see what I
Mhm.
mean? When Jesus was angry, you know, they talk about a lot of stuff in the Old Testament, but they don't talk about Jesus when Jesus was talking about I am the way, the truth, and the light. Real quick, there was a major pastor that I used to listen to, and then he said one thing in his sermon that I stopped listening to him. It was when President Obama was president. Okay, and they had this whole thing where they were like, "Oh, he's Muslim. I know he's Muslim. He's Muslim." And I kept saying to myself, "Why? Because his middle name is Hussein."
Wow.
Exactly.
Right
Yeah.
now, here's the problem with that. You just didn't say it personally. You said it to your congregation. This was a national theme that all the Christian conservatives had during that time to discredit him. Remember, they even went after his pastor in Chicago to the point that he had to leave that church because it was hairy. You had people just walking in the church because they were only playing sound bites of what they were saying. They weren't playing the whole sermon.
Exactly.
Let me get to my point. If now Obama, everybody knows, has declared that he's a Christian, his family's a Christian, right?
Mhm.
But you say that he's not because of his name. So does that mean that the person in China who has a Chinese name can't be a Christian? Because
Mhm.
okay, the person in Africa with an African name, they can't be a Christian. because of your name. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And you made that mistake for your own political reasons, and you said it to your congregation, and everybody stood up and clapped. Oh, I know he's a Muslim. I know he's a Muslim. Why? That was a political narrative. And
Mhm.
after that, I stopped listening to his sermons. I stopped listening because I was just like, you poisoned the well with what you said. So now you don't have any more credibility with me because I'm gonna take you back to what I said. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the light. He didn't say based on your name, he didn't say anything. And you see everybody now, back to your point with power and politics. The Christian conservatives are the biggest one that's running the agenda in this country right now. And that's who people are kowtowing and bowing down to, and they basically sold their soul for power. People are running away from the church now, not running to it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Because they're just like, well, if y'all living like that in the church, I'm living like that in the streets, baby. You know what I mean? Why should I have to go to church? You know what I mean?
Right. When you
Yeah,
find more
yeah,
wholesome and righteous people outside of the church,
yeah.
it's
You know what I mean? And
that's
listen,
something.
talking, and you want me to give the pastor a tip? I'm sorry, tithe and pay some money to it? No, I'm good. You know, crazy, crazy.
I did not know we was gonna have a politics and religion.
Oh yeah, man, it's real talk, But I'm getting ready to come back to you though, because now we got to talk about you
The
and
music.
this album, right? You've been
Music. I'm taking the
Yeah.
music back to you. I'm taking it back to the music thing. Wait.
Yeah, man, let's go,
So,
Frank.
that's a question. Now, is it one song that you use inspiration that inspires you? Every time you sing, it just inspires you. And when you sing it, it just feel like it's rings, like how they say, leave their voice and sing, how it just reaches nations. You have one song that you feel like if you just sing it, it just reaches everybody. It just touches the soul of a person.
Yeah, what song touches you? Touches you?
Exactly.
you mean any song or my song?
Doesn't
Any
matter.
your song,
The song you get caught singing in the car, the song you get caught singing in the shower, the song that hits you, you be like, oh,
oh yeah, that's the right
that
one.
song.
Well, so I grew up in a traditional church for the first part of my life, and I used to read hymnals. And when I would read them, I would remix them in my mind. I didn't know what I was doing at
Right.
the time, but I would change them, but still keep the lyrics, but change up, just different things. But um, one of the hymnals that I still sing, like just if I'm just not thinking about it or whatever, is "Leaning on the Everlasting Arm."
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Go ahead. Go ahead now.
You hear that one?
Go ahead now. Hey,
Feel it. I feel it in my soul.
about to get a little, you know what I'm saying? About to get hit with the Holy Ghost, Frazier. I'm trying to tell
I'm
you.
waiting.
About to hit the shamana, hamana. Go ahead, girl. I'm trying to tell you, man. What you saying? What you saying?
But yes, that's one of my favorite hymnals. Is "Leaning on the Everlasting Arm."
That's right.
And then of course my songs touch me, because they're from me,
Right.
so they touch me. I wrote an inspirational piece entitled "Overcomer,"
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote it to go with my book, "Overcoming the Odds," and it's just about, this the first verse says, "Been mistreated and abused by those I trust,
Mm-hmm.
and the very ones who said they loved me, the very ones who said they loved me so much." And all the pain that I had inside had me living a lie that was a smile on my face, but sadness in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "But I am overcoming by His grace, and I'm overcoming, and it's amazing." So
Yeah.
yes, but
Yeah.
so that's one of the songs that touches me, and every person that hears it, that's usually the song that really like resonates within them. Like, man, like, and it's like I wasn't expecting that. I was like, yeah, I know.
You just said the words, and I was like, she's talking about me. Definitely talking
Oh,
about me.
George, really,
Real
George? No.
talk. Real talk, praise. Real talk. She's talking about me. You know how many what they say backstabbers and everything I had to go through.
Woo!
Man.
Yes.
And I'm still here. You see what I'm saying? Still
Exactly.
here. So yeah, man, she's
Yes.
talking about me.
So, yeah. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm gonna have to send you my songs, Frazier. Okay,
Please,
I'm gonna have to send you the link.
Yes, please do.
And George, since you haven't
please,
heard me,
please.
boy.
You know, Frazier just be keeping stuff, man. You know, I hear it all secondhand. Yeah.
I want to hear it on the show so you can hear it.
Well, you want my first impression of it? No, man.
Mm.
Go ahead, let me hear it. Let me
I'm
first question.
trying to sit here and have this jamming in my joint, man, on my phone. Why
That's
would I want
right.
to?
Well, you want to follow me on Spotify. That's
That's what I'm
right.
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, let's go Spotify right now. You ain't said nothing.
Yes. And on YouTube, iHeartRadio.
Right.
Yes.
Everywhere, aren't you?
So, with your music, are you self-publishing it like your book, or are you with the company?
I
Because
am. Well, I've been going through the last content I put out is through DistroKid. DistroKid is
yeah,
it's pretty streamlined. It's pretty easy, user friendly, and so that is what I've been using. Before that, it was CD Baby, so to let you know how long ago that was. But
mhm. You said CD baby.
I was using back in
Look,
the day.
I'm 46, so when you say CD the baby, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, okay, CD baby and the hizzy.
Yeah,
You know
disc
what I'm saying?
makers. What about disc makers? CD baby disc makers.
Yeah, man.
That was
Yo,
great.
Frazier, you telling ourselves. Ain't no
But
teenagers gonna be flipping this.
I still
They gonna
rock
be
my CDs at my shows though.
look,
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
this
Yeah.
babies.
we need to sign up.
Yes, yes,
The sign come right on top of
yes.
this thing.
I signed it.
Send it to us. Go ahead, send it to us, Gary. We got you covered.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question though. So you doing it, knowing you're doing it independent on your own though. Do you find it a little bit harder to deal with like the venues and stuff when they come to negotiate with you by not having a manager, or do they prefer you to have a manager? Do they like kind of like push you aside a little bit, work a little harder?
Well, that's a great question. So usually, so for me, I am an artist that's well connected, at least within this area, and how I present myself and carry myself with my company. I also book other artists for things, and
Right.
so I know how to negotiate and how to talk to whoever I need to talk to. If they don't want to talk to me, then I'm also in a band, and I'll let them speak to the leader since he's a man. Because unfortunately,
Yeah,
a lot of times people communicate better if they're speaking to a man, which is,
true.
it's true, but it sucks some of the time. But yeah, but I mean, I know my way around as far as that.
Mhm.
I had to learn real quick.
Yeah.
I had to learn real quick because I've only been performing like in different venues for the past like 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Before that, it was just all church and nothing else. So
No, I'm gonna piggyback on that answer you gave a few minutes ago. By saying they doing that kind of image more like kind of sexist a little bit, they try to distort your image a little bit. Because I know some women some like company prefer a woman to be more, I would say, unladylike, and we present their covers, how they present their songs. I mean, we've seen some women they perform different outfits and not sometimes appropriate for other kids to see or something like that, whatever.
yeah, so
How that influence you not to stay within your own character?
I can
right.
answer that phrase. It's her company. Okay.
Yeah.
She ain't wearing what they want her to wear, and she ain't got to sell no sex. She's a righteous black woman. She own it. Okay.
Preach, brother.
Yes, yes and no, because see, when I perform and you said character, I really like to, it's like playing dress up. It's like, doing different things. And it really just depends on the venue,
Mhm.
what I wear. Because I have conservative all the way to not very conservative. And so,
Okay. Sometimes the lights are on and it's hot. I get it.
right,
Yeah,
exactly. And I can't do hot, y'all. I can't do heat. Like I
understandable.
can't. Yeah. So, and I'm very not I'm not at all self-conscious or uncomfortable with my body.
Mhm.
And so, it's like I mean, I'm not naked, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm going to be comfortable because I got to stand up here and sing, So, but yeah. So yeah, so it just depends. It depends on the venue and depends on how I'm feeling. So yeah,
Okay.
what I wear.
Hey, mood is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I'll tell you, when I used to manage a band, it was so funny because we had one guy we had to do the venue, the talent show. He probably like the ladies' man of the group. So right, so he didn't want to do all that, all that stuff. Okay?
Right.
We set up, we put a song up for him, doing the thing, whatever, we do the thing. He didn't even show up. He ended up telling us, oh, I had a girlfriend at the time. She would let me up. Oh, really? So
my gosh.
You would say to women and say you can go with us. You know what? I'm done with this. I mean, and it was so funny. And I tell you, like, when you perform and managing a group is so hard to do.
That's a lot.
You had to deal with the personalities. You had to deal with the relationship issues they have. You had to deal with a lot of stuff emotionally. I don't feel like singing today. I don't feel like going to record now today. Wild little babies. I mean, like, now we tell artists, the best way to do it, do things ahead of time.
Yeah.
Get your things done ahead of time. Like me, I don't know about how other managers do theirs. When they came to me, they had 8 songs already recorded.
Mm-hmm.
By the time they finished me, they had 2 albums recorded. That was part of my contract. The reason why I said it's better to negotiate when you have 2 albums versus 1.
That's right.
The first album is I call it "Give Me One." That's called I'm gonna give you something that takes a little bit what you got. Yeah, you like it, huh? You like it, huh? You're gonna pay for the second one. You're gonna pay for the second one. So the second one, I tell them this is what you get you your royalty. This is gonna get you that extra pay, extra dollar on what you need. Or even what tell me this way, work your own label where you can work your own producers.
Mm-hmm.
Deal with their producer. You make your own negotiate, and you negotiate better. I used to tell them a lot of time like we go to the deal, whereas if we get to you early, you pay me a bonus.
Right.
So, and remember, it's already done. It's already done. So all we're doing is mixing it down and perfecting it.
Right.
So that's why I tell most artists, young artists, I tell them, try to get stuff done ahead of time because I know may not be me, but some artists I heard over time, you get writer's block. That's why when you get stuff had to get written by somebody else because at a certain period of time, your mind get like,
Yeah, a lot of different things in life is happening.
Exactly. If I tell them, write about life, you never run out of material.
You won't. You absolutely won't. Absolutely not. I have a question for you guys, though.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
So, yes, I would like to know where you guys are from and just a little bit, your background. Yes.
Should I go first?
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, me. Well, see, I'm from Miami, and I met George doing real estate. A real estate investor. I'm also I do music. I did music a little bit. Kind of got out of it a little bit. Now moving more to like podcasting, film, stuff like that. Now, see, I'm still entrepreneur. I have a company, several companies I run. I do online work. Well, I'm a father of 4 boys and a big girls.
4 boys.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, it's to me. That's the best part of life is fatherhood. So I love that part. I love that part of it. Yeah. The best part about it. Other than that, I mean, I had like a lot of trauma in my life growing up. So I mean, my mom taught me very well, kept me on a lot of issues, stuff like whatever. So when I grew up, I kind of upshade a lot of stuff. I didn't see a lot of racism until I got almost 20-some years old. Mm-hmm. I didn't see a lot of stuff like this right here because all my friends were multicultural. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have the issue of black and white thing because I didn't see color. My mom we see no color, so I was colorblind. If you don't say that, I'm considered colorblind. So, and I like talking to people, getting to know people. So I love people. I love being around because it's one thing you already know. There's already a story behind it, and I love the story. And my story used to be to listen. I love listening. And on that one aspect, I had to go back to her. I'm also a man who don't like people who did evil things. Let's say that. I'm with George on that part, and also sports, also martial artists like George is. I do several things this way. So, DJ. Oh, your turn, George.
My turn. Thanks, man. Passing the baton, baby. I'm an author as well. Written a couple books about my life experience from working out. I've been a training natural bodybuilder probably since I was 14 years old. So I still do it now as far as training is concerned. And that's where I got the inspiration for my books, training for martial artists, resistance training. As Frazier said, we're both in real estate investors. We met on a real estate deal that he was looking at actually in Buffalo.
Exactly.
So, father, um, I would like to think I'm a good or providing husband. Depends on what day you ask my wife. You know,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one out.
but you know, entrepreneur as well. Just living life as it comes. You know what I mean? Not too great expectations and not over the top. Just taking everything day by day. And it's good. We create this podcast to be able to give people a platform to do exactly what you're doing because um, it's very hard to get to the mainstream shows, but a lot of time the mainstream shows only have their their culture, their image. They only book people that talk the
Exactly.
same thing that they're talking. And your story shouldn't get um lost in the cracks because what you just said was uh, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I still do that in the
Exactly.
beginning. And if that story is not being told, then that means that that next person or that next little girl or this, that, and the third doesn't know that there's somebody like you out there that made it. You know what I mean? And out there living their best life now, and out there being an entrepreneur, and out there doing all these things that this particular society tells people that look like us we can't do. Your own promotional company, your own and you're promoting other people and doing all these other things. A lot of times we think that we have to do things like in a big state or across the whole country or the world, but we don't understand that sometimes our influence can be right in our town, right
Exactly.
with the people in front of us, the people that see us every day, and the people that looking. I tell Frazier, if you've heard me say this a lot of times,
Yeah.
there's always people watching you. You may not notice them, but they always are people watching you, watching how you move, watching how you say, watching to see if you're the person that you project and you say that you are. You know what I mean? And so
Exactly.
that's why it's very important that you hear the saying, character is not what you do in the light. Character is what you have when nobody's watching.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Integrity is what you have when nobody's watching. You know, being that person that you say you are, and to put some hood on it, that Ryan died dude. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
Hey, sometimes you gotta ride that.
yeah, man, I'm with you. When I'm with you, I'm with
I'll
you.
ride.
You said you'll ride the dying part. You
Oh, yeah.
ain't ready with that yet.
That's what
Okay,
I'm talking about. Yeah.
I
Okay.
can dig that. I can dig that. That's deep.
See that
That's
deep.
deep.
That deep. That deep.
That's another level when you sitting there like, we gonna die together. We gonna die together, son.
Yeah, we going
You know what I
down like
mean?
this. Let's go.
So yeah, man. So I can dig it. Definitely.
Hey, I agree, even not.
Frazier, you get the why dying? Why we gotta die? Why everybody gotta be so violent? Somebody
Yeah.
gotta die to tell the story. What's
Sometimes you
going on?
gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying?
Too funny.
Do it.
Too
But hey,
funny.
don't do it. Trust me. You gonna sometimes you get a point where you have no choice. When George talk about all the time. Sometimes you can't say I walk away. You can't say walk this. You can't turn the other cheek. And they say turn the other cheek. Sometimes you can't. So I mean,
It's true.
sides. You have the
It's
side
true.
you know what, be passive, and the side say, you know what, I'm Malcolm X on you, an eye for an eye, two for two. You're gonna do what you gotta do. So what you gonna do? You want this
Yeah, no
side
doubt about it.
or this side?
And I like the ultimatums too for two reasons. Because pre-Trump, we were able to do that, but now that Trump is here and he's on his way out, and his followers and fanatics are across the entire spectrum. You got to be able to say that. Hey, who you
Yeah.
want? You want brother, Martin, or you want brother Malcolm? You know what I mean?
Right. Mhm.
Either way we want it, I'm good. Because like
Either
I
way,
said, signs are not to scare you, but I'm just that ride or die dude. You know what I mean?
you
Like, all
know,
right,
bear.
you know what I
You got
mean?
a teddy bear. You're not gonna do that
Too
thing.
funny,
Oh man.
too funny.
See, look at her. She's like, you know, plus she have so fun over. She has so much fun.
So,
It was so
anything else
good.
you want to add to this interview? I mean, we
Well,
can keep
um,
going, but this is about
Really
you.
go
I
on.
know it is about to end. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you guys. I also have a podcast as well, but
Oh,
yeah, it's Roadmap Street Signs Indie Artist Showcase with Sunja Dannette, and that's on Spotify, Podbeam, and Apple Podcasts. And my motto and my mission is to inspire, to empower, to educate, and to entertain. That's what I do. And I actually have a couple of upcoming things happening.
okay.
November 24th, that's next Tuesday. I'll be live streaming a concert with featuring myself as well as some other amazing artists, Chantel Wheeler and Kevin Bowman and Good Vibes Band. That's my band.
No.
Um, yes, that's going to be streaming everywhere: Blog Talk Radio, Spotify, and Roku TV. So
Whoa.
yeah, it's going to be, and it's on Facebook Live, so it's going to be streaming everywhere. It's next Tuesday on 24th from 8 to 10 p.m. So if you're not doing anything, tune in.
What
And
channel on Roku? Is it
Yeah.
Roku?
Roku is Black Poetry, Black Love Poetry Series. That's the name of it.
Okay.
That's the channel, Black Love Poetry Series. So very grateful to Akil and April Armstrong because this their channel and their show, and they wanted to feature me as a featured artist. So I'm excited about that. And the 27th and 28th, here in Augusta, Georgia, downtown Augusta, Georgia, at the Maserati Event Center, will be a stage play at Dinner Theater, and I'll be one of the actors, one of the cast members. So that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be New Yorican. So
Say what? Puerto Rican stuff, you know what I
Really?
mean?
Really?
Oh,
so yes, I'm gonna be, speaking a little English and a little Spanish. You
you
know
don't
what I'm
know?
saying? But yes,
You
it's
don't
gonna be.
know? Come on, baby.
¿Cómo estás, Angelita? Ah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes. So yeah, that's what I have going on for November. So excited, and
Send us links. I will
starting to.
definitely be there.
Yeah, definitely. Send the links. I mean,
Yes. Okay. Yes, I'll send it to you.
Cool.
I'm gonna say song too.
Too funny.
I'll send you the links, Frazier.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, tell them how to follow you too. They were on Facebook.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. Of course. So all on all social media. On Facebook, I'm Sunja Dannette. As you see here on the screen, it's SunjaDannette.
PTE. That's
On
it.
Facebook, that's Sunja Dannette. On Twitter is Sunja Dannette. On IG is Sunja_Dannette. And on YouTube is Sunja Dannette. It's a little discombobulated on YouTube. Just look for my music.
Okay.
I don't know how many channels I have.
It's
I'm
one
like,
name.
Nice. Nice.
Nice. Too fun.
Well, thank you for being on the show. We would definitely love to have you back. And
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
guys so much for having me.
we will
It
definitely
was fun.
check you out for the concert as well too. Phrase, I'm trying to close her out, man. We still in here laughing. You know what I mean?
Yes,
You gotta be serious, Phrase. I'm trying to
that's
give her
right.
props. You know what
You
I
know,
mean?
George is serious. He with the martial arts and stuff. I mean,
Right.
no, you're with the martial arts. George is
No,
what?
I
Did you bodybuilding?
I'm martial arts. I've been doing martial arts for 30 years. I just got done teaching class before this show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
exactly.
serious. I'm nice.
Wow.
You know, I
Okay.
hate to pat myself on the back, but yeah,
Like this.
I- I'm the wrong one. You know what I mean? So, it's definitely all good.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely all good. I'm real with it. You know what I mean?
Oh
Definitely all
yeah, Leroy.
right. Show enough. Let me help you with that.
I know, right? Shit, right, huh?
Word up.
Yeah.
Definitely. So thanks for being on the show. We definitely want to have you again.
Thank you guys so much. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Pleasure.
Oh man, Phrase. Great show. Beautiful
Well,
personality, man.
I know, right?
A
It's
kindred
amazing,
spirit.
man.
You know, just to see what she's gone through, where she is today, the person that she is right now, because the odds are against her. She's not supposed to be here talking to us like this. She's not supposed to
Exactly.
be the person that she is. So, that's just proof that there's a God in heaven that's a redeemer too, and also a healer as well. You know what I mean? And
Well, definitely. I mean, to come through that, the tragic, and then to be able to shine that light. And they say the light between the clouds, to
yeah,
go through that light and come out the way she did, and to be inspiring to others. And she might even know it. She be inspiring a little kid, little girls growing up, don't even know it.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's amazing, though. I mean, that's amazing personality. And I say, but you would never tell the way she smiles and have so much fun. You would never know this. You would
Yeah,
never.
man, I was shook when she was like, the women brought her in the
On
room
my
and
face.
it was like, oh, we can identify. That's why I sat back. I was like, wait,
I got speechless.
that
No
don't
heart.
seem right.
Speechless.
I mean, because I'm
Don't let
just
it.
like, it's systemic then,
Yeah,
And
like,
I'm just like, oh, no.
and it's to me, it made me angry. It just made me angry that somebody actually do something like that, and then things okay. And everybody said it's okay. Don't worry about what. It ain't okay. I don't know who told us okay. That is not okay. That I don't care how they put it, how they can put sugarcoat it, put some syrup on it. It's not sweet or nothing like that. It's not. It's not. It's just wrong.
Yo, man, I'd have been worse than Nick Cannon, man. I'd have had my own sitcom, George
Hey,
Wild Out, son. You know what I mean? Like,
oh,
yeah, man,
hey,
crazy.
you're like American Ninja. The person.
Crazy.
American Ninja, get them all and beat them up.
Straight up. I'd have been the first black ninja on the piece, man. Just doing it, son.
Hey, see the reason why I'm big in size, to intimidate the size person. Oh man.
Definitely all good. But yo, so
Yeah. Oh wait, have you seen the fight? Have you seen change the subject a little bit? But
yeah, man, we only got like 3 minutes. Go ahead.
They had a thing. I was looking at online yesterday, other day or sometime. They had a ranking, like top fighter rankings. You saw that? You seen that one?
No, I haven't looked at fighters
Tenders?
in a minute.
Well, not I mean fighter contender. I thought I had it right here. But they were talking about like they had a new league with a world champion with a lot of like ex MMA stars or ex champions, and they get together and they actually fight for a title, greatest world champion ever. And they had there's a Sova, they had a few guys on there before the fight. I'm not sure. Oh, no, it says the ESPN P4P rankings. So you looking at you got
the pound for pound rankings. Who are they?
They got number 1. You got Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
2, Canelo Alvarez. Yeah.
That's right. I think Canelo should be number 1, but go ahead.
Yep. We got we're gonna talk about that. And then we have Neil, I can't pronounce his name, I'll tell you, it's Neon Endu. It's I'm not sure where that's from. You got Earl Spencer Jr. You got Tarfolo Lopez. And we got
wait. What number is Earl? What number is Earl Spencer? What number is he?
Number 4. He's number 4. He's number 4.
I can
Of course, number 5 is Telefono Lopez. Number 6 is Vasino Lasimagloco. I don't know if I torched his name or not.
Yeah, you torched his name. Just stop, Ray. Just stop.
Yeah, I torched that one.
He can't even pronounce my
He's
name.
Number 7. You ain't here. No, he's number 7.
Who's number 7?
Number 7 is Okasano Yuka. Yorkshire. Is it USYK? I'm not sure if I pronounced the last name correctly.
Is that you're Eastern European or African?
It's like they probably dabble a little bit both. Look like might dabble a little bit both. Somebody influences. And guess what number 8 is though?
Who?
Tyson Fury. He's number
Really?
8.
Number 8?
He's number 8. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one now.
Well, he's a
heavy. Is Juan Francisco Estrada.
Estrada.
Then we got number 10, Chigini Golovkin. Golovkin. Golkin?
No,
Lofkin?
that's Triple G, right?
Yeah, 2 G's, yeah. Well, one
Triple G.
double G. We gonna say double G for that.
Anyway, listen real quick. Did you watch the NBA draft last night?
I watched the first 3 picks. I ain't gonna tell no story. I watched the first 3 picks that I happened to dab a little bit. Saw who
Who were
Miami.
the first 3 picks?
Well, dang, where the guy? Okay, I'll tell you now. He from Minnesota. I'll tell you right now. Look at it right quick. First pick. I'm tell you right now. Tell you right now the first pick. There we go. I'll tell you the first pick right now. I'm looking at the first pick right now. Just speaking, first pick.
Because my son was trying to tell me today, but I wasn't paying attention to him. He said, I think, what was that? LaMelo went third.
He went third. He went to he went to
He went to North Carolina. Yeah.
he went to it's so funny, right? His daddy talked about the owner, say he could beat the owner playing basketball, and his son get drafted by the same guy.
Well, look, LeVar, when he gets to the stadium, Mike's gonna be like, "Hey, look at here." You know what I mean? You and myself are gonna have to have a
on that.
You know
We
what I
got
mean?
all time.
Yo, I got the court, son. It's just me and you.
Exactly.
We do this. Let's find out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely not good.
Exactly. What you made of? Okay, let me see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see all picks. Hold on. Let's see all picks. Hold on. Look at it right now. No, first I need first round. First round picks. Okay,
right.
first round pick Anthony Edwards for
okay.
University of Georgia.
Okay, nice.
Shooting guard. Then you got number 2. I think it was a really good pick. It was a really good pick. The center for Memphis, James Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the guy play? The guy is really good. Then LaMelo Ball went to Charlotte. Patrick Williams. They were talking about it today earlier about the Chicago pick from the Florida State. They said nobody know who he is, but obviously he's pretty good. To get drafted 4th pick, you're pretty good, small forward.
Right.
And it's his height too. Moment, Chicago need a lot of height. They don't have a lot of height on the team.
Well,
That's one of the picks. So then Isaac, this is a good one here. Isaac Kokuo. He been off Auburn, small forward. Nice. Then number 6 pick, you got now these boys some names here. I'm sorry, these some names here. It's some names here.
All right, we'll put a pin in that, ladies. Yeah, that's our show. We want to thank Sunja for coming on the show. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a special show at 1:00 Eastern.
Exactly.
Okay? You don't want to miss this show because we're going to have a digital marketing expert on the show to talk to us about the climate, business, everything else that you want to learn about building social media. So check us out tomorrow at 1:00. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frazier.
And this is Real Talk with George and Frazier. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.